Focus, people. Let's stay focused. It's your boy Tom 202. Back up in the easy for Sheezy. Easy for Sheezy. Anyways, so I've been trying to get this video out uh, for the last couple days, but I keep having to erase it because my phone just doesn't have a lot of space. But anyways, I want to talk about quarterbacks and the draft. I want to talk about first round draft picks and why the quarterback is, failing when it comes to the first round draft pick. And, with all the hype and everything, you would think that the transition from college to the NFL would be a lot smoother, and the success rate would be a lot higher. But it doesn't seem to be the truth, and it seems to be going down each year. And I think I'm just, I'm a skeptic. I'm not a professional at, or a sports analyst or any of that. This is a channel for skeptics. For the very few of you who watch my videos, if you start watching all my sports videos, you see that I just throw information out there and guesstimations, with a touch of hyperbole, and we'll just see where it lands. You know what I mean? However, it's still data. So it's still something you can go look up. Uh, so when I look at the NFL, I think it's a setup. I think people are set up to fail if they are not mentally prepared to make that transition. I think college and the responsibility in college is not as heavy as the NFL. Of course, that's obviously true. But when you have one extreme and then the other, and then you gravitate into the other, you have people, you're going to have a negative impact, is what's going to happen. And in some cases, we have seen where the transition just doesn't go as smoothly at all. Jamarcus Russell went to the Raiders, couldn't stay awake during practice, during the filming, watching the films, and turned out he had epilepsy. Boom, out quickly. Vince Young from Texas won the national championship, went to the Titans, I believe. Didn't do so well. Boom, out. Uh, 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 Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, Gig'em, Aggie, and he went from the Aggies straight to Cleveland. Boom, out quickly. And who we got? RG3 came in a year or so, did well. Boom, got cracked a couple times. Went from the Baylor Bears to the Redskins to the Browns, and now we don't know what's going to happen to him. Now, I'm going to pick apart some of those people I talked about, and then I'm going to compare them to some people who have a good success rate of doing very well. Some of the more successful and doing very well people are Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck came in, took the place of Peyton Manning, and he'll never be a Peyton Manning, but nonetheless, Andrew Luck is a great quarterback, and he's going to eventually win a couple. This is what I see. Nonetheless, he's nowhere near what Peyton Manning was and is, because Peyton Manning could come in and be a coach right now and coach a team and get a job. His ability to command a field was beyond coaching. He told one player, he said, "Look, if I tell you it's Christmas, it's Christmas," because he was at practice and a wide receiver went out and did the wrong move, and Peyton told him, he basically changed the play. And the guy went and did what he thought was supposed to be right. And Peyton said, I told you to do something else. He said, look, if I tell you it's Christmas, it's Christmas. You know what I'm saying? He's Peyton Manning. You're not. He's the Peyton Manning because he's probably, if he ain't the greatest, he's going to be pretty close to it, him and Tom Brady. Nonetheless, Peyton Manning, when he came into the game, he was throwing the ball 29 miles an hour. When he left, he was throwing it at 26. You understand, this man practically broke his neck. They got rid of him at the Colts, which was a bad move. Because to me, he was the Colts. He bring them from nothing to something. Won a Super Bowl, and then they got rid of him because he got hurt, and then went, and we know the history, went and won another Super Bowl for the Broncos, and yada, yada, yada. So Andrew Luck has some shoes to fill, but nonetheless, Colin Hurd thinks he's the best quarterback in the game. I disagree. Cam Newton is the best quarterback out there all around to me. To me, that's my opinion. But nonetheless, so let's look at the people who are not successful when it comes to, first, second round draft picks or just quarterback draft picks. Let's go ahead and, one of my favorite examples is Johnny Manziel because that kid is talented. He was beautiful when he played for A&M. He was all over the field. He could throw that. He could launch that ball. He could score on his feet. He was a mixture of Jake the Snake with a slash Doug Flutie, uh, toss a little bit of any scrambling quarterback. Michael Vick in there, except Michael Vick is the fastest quarterback in the league. Well, he was. He just retired at 36. But Johnny Manziel was that dude, and then he had an arm on him like a it was just ridiculous, like a Doug Williams. You remember Doug Williams came into the game, played for the Redskins, won a Super Bowl, and left. He had a hand cannon, didn't he? It was ridiculous. But left after that. But nonetheless, as far as Johnny Manziel is concerned, I looked at Johnny Manziel, and I try to look at all sides of what happened to him. I didn't study him, but for what little I know about him, and then the system that is football, I'm looking like this. Johnny Manziel had everything. Good family support, friend support, great school program. It's one thing to be a great school, but to have a great program, a thriving program, great coaches, he just had everything. Uh, Loved the party. Of course, I'm sure he had a bunch of women, friends around him. And then, he signs on that contract, and then boom, it's like the lights turned on for him. It's like, damn, this is serious now. You know what I mean? It's like you are in a support system of 85, 82 other players who are depending on you now to eat. This is Cleveland. This is professional football. We're trying to eat. We got family who depends on us doing things here. You know, we need a higher success rate. And you doggone believe some of those football players, they're looking at, okay, you come into the game, you get here, I might be on my way out if we aren't successful this year. I'm depending on you to help me get to next year, because my contract is up. You know what I'm saying? And I need another endorsement of $4 or $5 million for the next 2 years in order to support my family and my kids going to private school, my mortgage, so on and so forth. Like, I need you, Johnny. 10-1 says they probably told him something like that too. But psychologically, Johnny wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for that. He wanted to keep partying. He was addicted to it. And whenever you have addiction, there's something else that led you into that. And I looked at that and I'm like, I wonder if his family told him to stop partying. I wonder if his core support team told Johnny, don't go to that party tonight. Stay home. Let's talk. What's on your mind? But you got the friends, the women, the beer, whatever drugs is out there. Big school party night. Hey Johnny, come stay home. Let's go somewhere else. Me and you. Let's hang out. Slow down on the partying. I wonder if that happened. I wonder if any of his core support groups said, you know what, you getting ready to go into the NFL. I mean, you can keep partying, but serious now. Don't let that be at the forefront of your activities because you're going to have to concentrate a lot. People are dependent on you. I wonder if that happened. I wonder if the NFL has a psychologist that, as soon as you sign on that dotted line, that paid psychologist uh, that works for a team approaches you and has a private meeting with you, just you, nobody else, and talks to you to see where your psyche is, to get you mentally stable for what's about to happen to you, with and for you. I wonder if they do that. I don't think they do. They got lawyers, they got all kind of other money grubbing people there to, make sure that you get that money so they can get that money, and, you know, and pretty much that's it. But I wonder what the support is like. I wonder if there's a psychologist. I'm just saying. Johnny wasn't mentally fit. And when you look at somebody who's mentally fit, let's look at the Manning brothers. The brothers. You know what I'm saying? What, Peyton got two? And his brother, and Eli got two? I might be wrong on that. I don't care. Some of you guys help me out with that. But let's look at the Manning brothers and look at their father. Their father played in the game back when Broadway Joe played in the game. And Broadway Joe was running around with guys who were fixing football. And they were investigated. So Peyton and Eli's father played for the Colts. What was his name? His name was Archie Manning. Played for the Colts. And he played during a time where there was a big blowout about the NFL being fixed. And I'm sure once he had those boys, he started looking at them and their love for their father and what their father does. And as they grew, I'm sure he noticed that they just love to play football, and it's possible that they might get into the NFL. He probably groomed them that way, or he didn't stop their ambition. He just, hey, you want to play ball? Play ball. You want to be an astronaut? Be an astronaut. You want to be an astronaut that plays football? Be an astronaut that plays football. He was like, I don't care. Just be successful in whatever it is you do. I love you, and that's how it's going to go. What do you want to do? You want to be a ditch digger? Be the best ditch digger you can be. But they had their father's eyes. They had their father's keen sense of the field and of their surrounding. They had their father's arm. When Daddy saw this, and they got into high school, and then they, went on into college. You think he didn't warn them about the NFL? You think he didn't sit them down and say, listen, everything that looks good isn't good for you? He probably said, look, it's all going to look like a pack of Skittles, but don't eat it. Those girls, they're going to be wild and ambitious, but don't touch them. That scout who's looking at you, don't pay him no mind. I mean, there's going to be every drug known on the market to you, all the way from SARMs to opioids to coke to weed to heroin to anything you can think of. It's going to be there for you, and you might be tempted. That blonde who been looking at you, Oh man. Woo. Listen there, dime a dozen. Everything that look good ain't good for you. Slow down. Watch closely. Get your bearings about you. You know, center your mass, and then go forward. That type of inside scoop. I mean, he probably told them all about the NFL being fixed and what happened, watching the documentaries on what happened. That right there, that solid ground that the Manning brothers stand on because of their father, because of listening to their father. I don't think Johnny Manziel had. I don't. Listen, RG3 came into the game. He had a great support system. He came into the game. He came from Baylor Bears, right? Well, RG3, uh, great success, the fastest quarterback to come into the league in what, 10 years? Because the fastest quarterback ever, I think, was Michael Vick. So RG3 was doing what, a 4.5, 4.6? Had a hand cannon on him. But what happened to RG3 when he played for Baylor? He got hit in the head, literally, and it knocked him out clean on the sideline. What happened to him when he came into the NFL? He got hit in the head, and it knocked him out clean. Then he got hit in his leg, and it took away his speed. Then he got hit in his leg again, and it took away his speed. So he became a quarterback who used his speed to, what, he had an 80-yard run when he was playing for the Redskins. He could no longer do that. He had to become a Dan Marino and get rid of the ball in 2 seconds, but only Dan Marino could do that. You see, he had to relearn how to be a better quarterback because he had all the skills in the world that he needed when he came into the NFL. But the one thing RG3 did not have was the ability to dodge a head hit. He didn't have it. It happened too many times in less than 5 years. And and he got a concussion from it. It's like you should be able to dodge that hit. You should be able to hit the sidelines faster. But no, his vibrato of his speed led him to believe he can outrun this defender. But when he couldn't, that defender hit him like that defender should. And pow, that's it for you. You didn't know how to slide or, Cam Newton dodge. You don't know how to do that. I don't think Cam Newton has ever been hit like that. He can come out of that pocket and run downfield just like Colin Kaepernick. I don't think Colin Kaepernick has been hit like that. See, it's a skill. Now RG3 is too dang damaged, but I believe RG3 can be a great two-man quarterback. In a two-man quarterback system. Send him out there with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback, but he needs a little help. Send him out there and play them both. Have RG3 drop back in the slot. 1-2, let the ball go. He'd be a good quarterback for you. Somewhere where he can get some good pass protection. I'm just saying. Now when you look at Cam Newton's support team, for one, Cam Newton is a man among boys. Even now. Cam Newton can win when he wants to, when they let him. He lost in the Super Bowl because he was told to. He didn't get that fumble, and he looked right at it. He almost stopped his team from getting the fumble. He was told not to get the fumble. Cam Newton went 17-1. He could have easily won that Super Bowl, but he was told not to. And you saw it when you saw that play. Cam Newton is the best quarterback in the league. He can win when he wants to. And that's all there's to it. But let's look at Cam Newton's support team before he came in. He played at a JUCO, which was just a joke. And then he went to Florida and won the national championship because it was just too easy for him. And all that time he was, once he went from the JUCO to Florida, he was being investigated because his father reportedly received $180,000 twice for him. Now, they never found record of that, but nonetheless, it was out there. I don't know if it's true or not. But the truth is, Cam Newton was already powdered up and packaged to go into the NFL, and his mind was there. Like long before he won the national championship, he already was set to go. And that's what happened. So when we look at these quarterbacks, it's the support system. The support system is what makes them successful or not. And we're going to see what's going to happen to these first round draft picks. I got that one kid from Texas, I think. He can throw the ball 80, 85 yards, 65 yards on his knees. Let's see what happens to the first round draft picks. Let's see who's successful and who's not. Let's see who has a Manning support or who has Johnny Manziel support. It's your boy Tom Toto.